Voltamos. Live caiu, mas a gente está de volta. Vou atualizar aqui, vou chamar a galera. Vou chamar o pessoal aqui de volta. Enquanto isso, tá rolando aí.
Wow, I just love seeing your creations. Don't forget, Jim Lee will be announcing the winner at the end of the show. So stay tuned to see if you've been chosen. Do you like pizza? Have you ever wanted to be like the Batman? Then you will want to get your TikTok on with those pizza fanatics at Little Caesars who are partnering with the Batman film in theaters in 2022. To get in on the fun, record how you would navigate your everyday life if you were the Batman. Then tag your video with hashtag #BeLikeTheBatman on TikTok. To learn more, check out at Little Caesars Pizza on TikTok. We won't keep you in the dark. And here's something else to be excited about. A new DC mobile game announcement from Ludia. Looks like the most iconic DC superheroes and supervillains are going to be featured in a puzzle RPG. Mobile gamers, get your fingers ready for DC heroes and villains.
The interesting thing about power is not whether it's used for good or evil, nor is it that even the greatest power can be lost in an instant. It's what we choose to do when identities crumble. The line between hero and villain blurs.
Deixa eu atualizar aqui. Deixa eu atualizar o que foi que saiu de novidade. A live deu uma caída aqui, mas já voltei. Bora ver o que foi que saiu de novidade aqui quando a gente estava fora. Olha. Então, saiu o que? Saiu a terceira temporada. Confirmada a terceira temporada da série animada da Harley Quinn. Confirmado também a quarta temporada de Titans, só que Titans está muito fraco, então enfim. Filme da Batgirl. A protagonista apareceu. Falta menos de uma hora para acabar e a gente não viu nada de Lanterna Verde e nada de Liga da Justiça Sombria, né? Espero ver alguma coisa da Zatanna. Lanterna Verde, parece que saiu uma confirmação de uma animação, só que isso daí já tá quicando já faz tempo, né? Algumas animações aí confirmadas também. E até agora só isso na parte de série e cinema, né? Então bora repassar o que a gente viu até aqui. A gente viu um trailer do Adão Negro. A gente viu um teaser do Flash. Esse dia eu me animei porque era uma das coisas que eu queria ver. E a gente viu cenas do set de Aquaman, também bem interessante. E para animar mesmo, até aqui foi o trailer do Adão Negro e do teaser do Flash, né? E agora estão focando mais aí nas animações. Essa animação aí que já tem várias temporadas, que é Justiça Yang também, né? Bora dar uma olhada nela.
No one on the team is perfect.
You broke the rules. Makes me want to break some rules too.
And sometimes being a superhero isn't so super at all.
There are some things you just can never prepare for, and some things you can never get over.
What do I do? Pull your energies into me.
The heroes you love always fight for what's right.
Surrender or die.
That was my favorite dartboard. This season, they'll fight for something more.
No more house! No more meddling! You'll all die today!
And the choices they make
Decide who we want to be.
will alter the DC universe forever. Young Justice Phantoms, now streaming.
I like it.
DC FanDome is the only place to be for the latest and the greatest DC news and upcoming projects. I am Terry LTAM, and to say I'm thrilled to be here with the best fans in the world is a complete understatement. This is beyond exciting. Now, up next, another first. The talented and revolutionary writer, director, and producer, Eva DuVernay, is officially making her first show at HBO Max. Eva has joined force with writer Roberto Patino to bring you DMZ, based on the comic of the same name. The show takes place in the future, where America is caught up in the Second Civil War, leaving Manhattan in ruins. The resilience of community and the human spirit is really what stands out in this 4-part limited series, starring Rosario Dawson and Jack Gunn. Now, over to Andy and Roberto to hear more.
Hi, I'm Ava DuVernay,
I'm Roberto Patino.
and we're here today to talk about our hot new DC comic adaptation, DMZ.
It's a story about a fractured people that are coming together, where we have a civil war between the Free States of America and the United States of America. And our story takes place 8 years into that DMZ, where the rule of law is basically dictated by the most powerful person at any point in time, and that could change from block to block.
So you have people who are in the city who've basically been abandoned, and the big kind of thrust of the story is an outsider comes in and she turns everything upside down. And that roller coaster ride, that adventure is one of the things that I love most about your script, and one of the reasons why I had to direct it, had to be involved. Let's talk a little bit about Rosario Dawson and the character of Alma.
Alma was inspired by one of the most fascinating characters in the comic book, and also one of the most underserved characters in the comic book, named Z, who is this fearless medic. I really took the creative guardrails off and dove into the spirit of Z, who invented him. The show is a bit of an origin story for one of the best characters in the graphic novel. She comes out the other side with a whole new understanding of what her place in this world ought to be.
I mean, the thing is like a beautiful, chaotic, messy, grappling with gender and who can do what and what power looks like and who really has the power. This is exemplified through Parker, played by Benjamin Bratt, and Wilson, played by Hoonley. And these are two actors, Roberto, they came to play.
Man, Marco Delgado is this guy who said, you know what, I am the law. I am the power here. And who I am and what I say I am, no one's gonna challenge me on that if I say it with enough resolve. Wilson, on the other hand, is about the opposite side of that, where everybody gets to make truly free choices in the DMZ. They get to decide who they want to be. And the result of that is this patchwork of gangs and tribes and outfits. And Wilson sees that as
because that's what the DMZ is. It is set in a world that's just a few moments into the future, and it speculates what would we be if we let the worst of our divisions into us. I just think it's super cool. It's also important in ways that allow us to consider ourselves now and what we want to be going forward. We're just pleased and proud that it's going to be making its way to HBO Max. And, you know, it's just been a pleasure working with you, my friend. I can't wait to do it again and again.
Indeed, it's been such a pleasure working with you too, and I honestly cannot wait for the world to see DMZ. It's a world I'm thrilled to share with audiences, and especially with the DC fans.
Same here. Well, thank you to DC for having us, and we'll see you on HBO Max very soon.
DMZ isn't the only DC project from the brilliant Ava DuVernay. She's also bringing the fans Naomi, inspired by the amazing DC comic of the same name from writers Brian Michael Bendis, David Walker, and artist Jamal Campbell. Naomi stars this incredible actress, Casey Wallfall. Hi Casey, great to see you.
Hi Candace, it's so great to be here.
Everyone is so jazzed for Naomi, and I am loving the diversity that's become the norm in the DC universe. How does it feel to be a part of the DC family?
It's an honor to be a part of the DC family. I, for so long, have watched shows like The Flash and a bunch of other DC TV and movies, so it's really special to me and very full circle for me. And everyone who I've talked to within the DC universe has been incredibly welcoming, which makes me really happy and it's been so exciting. I'm really excited for people to see this character that is so special to them within the comics on TV, and since she's so fairly new to the DC universe, there's a lot of room to grow within the character and within the story, and it's something that we haven't seen yet within the DC universe.
How did you prepare for the role of a teenage superhero?
Preparing for the role of a teenage superhero isn't so hard for me because I started the show when I was 16. Naomi is 16, I'm 17 now. So our lives, they often overlap as I'm reading the scripts. I get to pull from my family and my friends and things that I'm going through. And when you're a teenager, it's really crucial when you're figuring out your identity and who you are and what you like and what you don't like, which is a lot of what goes through Naomi's head throughout the story. It's a superhero show, but it's also a coming of age story. When it comes to the part of preparing for the superhero part, I can't relate to the supernatural part of the story, but I can relate to being a good person and doing good deeds, which is a huge part about being a superhero. And I've also read the comics. When I first booked the show, I got the series of the comics, and I've also read the Justice Leagues that she's in. And I'm an avid reader, so getting into comics is something that the show has started me on.
What makes Naomi different from the other female superheroes out there?
Well, as I said before, she's a fairly new superhero, so there's a lot of room for growth. But honestly, she's a young female black teenage superhero, which is really special because that's something that we rarely see a character have their own comics and to have on TV. And I think what also sets her apart is her character and her heart. She's incredibly confident. She loves the people around her. She's incredibly driven, incredibly smart, and isn't afraid to show it. And although there are a lot of Naomis and people like Naomi in real life, those aren't always shown on TV, so I think it'll be really special. I also think what makes it different is the unique characters within the setting of the show. And the creatives in the team and the crew and the cast, they make it even more special, so I'm really excited for people to see the show.
Thanks, Casey. Thanks so much for being here. Let's give the fans a little teaser of what's coming their way in this DC News Flash, featuring Naomi.
Now, are we ready to begin?
Trailer da série, não.
What's going on?
Annabelle says there's a stunt happening in the square. Something to do with Superman.
Vá agora. Ah, não, Shazam agora.
Hi everyone, I'm Asher Angel. I can't believe I'm here in the Hall of Heroes celebrating all things DC with you, the greatest fans in the entire multiverse. But I couldn't wait to tell you that we just finished shooting the sequel to probably your favorite DC movie of all time, featuring the only teenager to ever take a subway ride to the Rock of Eternity, Philly's own Billy Batson. The new movie is called Shazam.
You see what I did there? Because in the movie, when he says, anyway, I'm Zachary Levi, and let me tell you something. Our new movie, Shazam! Fury of the Gods, is going to be out of this world. In fact, the fate of Philadelphia, and probably, I don't know, actually the entire world is in my hands. But this time, the family and I, we're up against some seriously scary villains. Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu. My real-life alter ego, Asher Angel, and I. We had such a great time making this movie with our director, David Sandberg, and this cast, Jack and Megan and Adam and Ross and Grace and DJ and Ian and Jovan and Faith. There are so many. And like our new cast members, like Rachel Zegler. We just wanted to take you behind the scenes to join in the fun during the making of Shazam.
Hello, my name is Zachary Levi, and I play Shazam. We all established something very special in the first movie, and in Shazam! Fury of the Gods, we expand on that.
Now they have to balance their life with being superheroes.
This is where you hang out with your superhero friends, isn't it?
These goddesses come to our world.
Our incredible new villains, Lucy Liu and Helen Mirren. She's kick-ass as Calypso.
We have mythological creatures.
Minotaurs, harpies, dragons.
When I talk about upgrades, we got an upgrade, a huge upgrade in the suit. Bigger action sequences, bigger set pieces.
We go from Athens to Philadelphia. We go from the Rock of Eternity, the Library of Eternity, to the Realm of the Gods. So we get to go to environments that were never explored in the first film.
We have it all.
Shazam! Fury of the Gods takes the excitement and the action to a whole new level.
It's going to be more of a spectacle.
It's fun all around. You're in store for a treat, y'all.
You know, it doesn't matter how many times I yell the word Shazam, I still can't fly. I also never seem to turn into a superhero. Oh well, I'll just keep trying. Alright guys, let's keep the action going. Woman who's been having a great year, getting ready to celebrate her 80th anniversary. Let's look back at a few highlights from her extraordinary story.
Wonder Woman is one of the original superheroes. She is a universal character.
Diana's values it's all about love and compassion and humanity and peace and inclusiveness. It's part of who she is, and that's what makes her so special. Shall we? She believes in good, and her optimism radiates hope to the world.
She's been around because I think she struck a chord at a certain time and then just kind of evolved throughout the ages.
We all were Wonder Woman on the playground, and I love that she elicits that in people and makes people feel like they could be Wonder Woman. We are so excited to get to be here and get to talk about the spirit of Wonder Woman. When I think about myself as a child, learning about the character and watching.
Ai, que saco.
watching Linda and how much it meant to me and how much it went on to mean to me over the years, you know, getting to be a part of the passing of the torch of this amazing character into the world is incredible.
It was an honor and an excitement for me to go to see your movie, Patty. I know what it was like from the inside out, and I know what the legacy meant to me. And when I created the character, it wasn't on the comic book page, her kindness and her goodness. Her strength was a lasso of truth, and it was defensive things. And that meant something to me, because we know what Wonder Woman is. We not just you and me, but the women out there and
Bom, a gente teve um vídeo, né, do set de Shazam. Shazam é a Fúria dos Deuses. Pareceu bem bacana. Né? A gente não sabe o que vai ser aí nesse filme. Nem o que vai ser do próprio... A gente não sabe nem o que vai ser do próprio Shazam, né? Depois. Se vai ter algum filme que vai unir o Shazam com o Adão Negro, a gente fica nessa expectativa aí. Tá tendo um painel aí de 80 anos da Mulher Maravilha. Não sei se vai vir algum projeto. Cat Penny já disse que tem interesse de fazer um terceiro filme. Parece que ficou no ar um terceiro filme da Mulher Maravilha. Lucy Liu vai estar no filme do Shazam. Vai ter essa série da Naomi. É um projeto. Não conheço muito essa personagem, os quadrinhos. E aí falta coisa do Lanterna Verde, da Liga da Justiça Sombria e algum anúncio, né, de filme aí. Eles não estão anunciando filme não. Não estão anunciando o filme, estão segurando. Não sei se vai ter algum filme que impacte aí essa edição da DC FanDome. Eu acho que depois desse painel pode vir Batman, hein? Depois desse painel pode vir Batman. Daqui a pouco vai terminar essa edição aqui, né? Vai ter o trailer do Batman, faltou o Lanterna Verde, faltou o Liga da Justiça Sombria. A Zatanna fez um truque de mágica, né? Ela sumiu. Nada da Liga da Justiça aí da América, da Sociedade da Justiça da América.
I am just in awe of these women. Patty and Linda
aí a Pat Jennings falou, né, quando te falado que ela tem interesse de, acho que ela está na pré-produção ali da Mulher Maravilha 3.
Wonder is a year-long celebration of Wonder Woman's 80th anniversary. And together with Dove, we're committed to creating and celebrating everyday women who make the world a more beautiful and confident place. We'll share real-world stories by real women who are using their everyday superpowers to help create real wonder and change in their communities. We're looking for women who aspire to ensure that the next generation grows up helping young people raise their self-esteem and realize their full potential. Check out the website below to nominate someone who embodies celebrating the wonder in all of us today. Now, let's take a look at a special collection of fan art that celebrates the icon on her 80th anniversary. Here are just some of the truly wonderful creations sent in by the fans of the original, the most genuine, the pop culture icon that is Wonder Woman.
Só para dizer que não falaram da Liga da Justiça Sombria, vai ter uma animação do Constantine, né? Vai ter uma animação do Constantine, para dizer que não falaram da Liga Sombria. Mas aí é muito pouco ainda, né, gente? É muito pouco.
She's a standout character among all the original DC members.
I can't believe she's been around for 80 years. It's insane.
I think she inspires everyone who aspires to be like a strong, powerful person.
People gravitate towards her so much because she's uniquely different.
I think it's important to have strong female role models like Wonder Woman because women have gone through so much adversity.
Sem nenhum projeto.
It's what I'm going to do.
It's important for little girls to look up at the screen and see a hero there and say, I can be that, I can do that.
I am my own woman and I decide who I want to be.
The inspiration that comes from seeing this super strong, super smart, elegant heroine that stands on her own.
It gives them someone to look up to, even if it's just in their imagination.
Wonder Woman is an amazing character. Anybody can look up to her, regardless of status.
Of course, Wonder Woman's
is Christian Convery, and I play Gus on Sweet Tooth. I hope you're having the sweetest time tuning into this year's DC FanDome. I'm excited to be with you all today and answer some of your fan questions. So, let's get started. The amount of pieces of candy I think I ate, probably about more than 500, but I'm definitely not complaining. That was amazing. I do have a sweet tooth in real life too. So the ears are actually controlled not in post-production and not by me. It's actually a whole rig that controls them. So it starts by me putting on a skull cap, which holds the wig and the antlers, but the ears are actually connected to that skull cap, and the ears have wires that run down my neck and onto a pouch on my back that's strapped onto me. And then there's a puppeteer, and me and him work together to remote control the ears and think of cool ideas that we could do during the scene to really make Gus come alive.
Are your ears soft? Super cool.
My favorite part about shooting in New Zealand was how the nature is so spectacular and extravagant that when it's put onto camera, you're like, is this fake? Because it looks so majestic and magical. That is what I love about New Zealand, the magical nature there. I love basically all DC characters. I love all the classics, like, for example, Superman and The Flash, but I gotta give it to Sweet Tooth because I am Gus, and Gus is in Sweet Tooth, and Sweet Tooth is the DC comic book, so it's pretty cool getting to bring a DC comic book to life and being one of the characters in it. I indeed read the comics before starting Sweet Tooth, and I loved Jeff Lemire's writing techniques and how he really brought it alive off the page. It's so amazing, the comic books, and it really helped me get a jump start with Gus.
What's in Colorado?
My mama. Well, I know that I'm itching to find out what happens next, but I really hope that Bobby's okay because he's the cutest thing in the world, right? Well, and of course all the other hybrids. But you'll just have to wait and watch season 2 to find out. I absolutely love how much you guys enjoy Sweet Tooth and cannot wait for you to see what we have in store next. Get ready for more banter, hybrids, and candy to last you a lifetime, or at least to cure your sweet tooth. See you soon for Sweet Tooth Season 2!
And now that we've satisfied your sweet tooth, there's a sweet deal waiting for you over in the DC shop. It's our final exclusive drop of the day. This is the one that you've been waiting for. That's right, it is time to scoop up some brand new Batman merchandise, and it's happening now at shop.dccomics.com. Take a look.
Get ready for the world premiere of the Batman trailer.
With all this talk about Batman, we must not forget that much of the Caped Crusader's strength comes from something other than his muscles or Bruce Wayne's billions. Alfred Pennyworth has always been a huge source of support as both Batman's butler and father figure. Pennyworth, the DC origin series, answers just that, as it follows a young Alfred Pennyworth who goes to work with billionaire Thomas Wayne in 1960s London. Let's take a closer look in this DC Spotlight.
Hello DC FanDome. We've had so much fun making Pennyworth over the past 2 seasons, and we just wanted to thank you all so much for your support. On a personal note, it's been a dream for me to play this character, and I really will never forget it, so thank you so much.
Whoa. It sounds like you're saying goodbye when actually we've got some really exciting news to share, haven't we? So why don't you...
That is true. I will. As you can see, we're on set and we are officially in production for season 3 of Pennyworth, which is now a Max original series on HBO Max.
That's right, and you'll be able to catch up on the first 2 seasons of Pennyworth on HBO Max early 2022, and the all-new season 3 will premiere there later that same year.
We really can't thank you enough for your love and support, and it's because of you, the fans, that we are back, and we can't wait for you to see what we have in store.
Season 3 will dive in deeper on the lives of Alfred, Martha, Thomas, Bet Sykes, Lucius Fox, and all the other Pennyworth characters, as we find out more about their involvement in the evolution of the Batman canon.
And there's a 5-year time jump.
Oh, alright, that's a bit of a spoiler.
Well, let's just say that there's lots of exciting things happening on Pennyworth season 3, and we can't wait for you to see. It's going to be a fun and revealing ride ahead. We and everyone here at Pennyworth are so happy to be back, and we'll see you very soon on HBO Max.
All right, so Jim, fans have noticed that you've been posting some awesome artwork leading up to DC FanDome. And we, of course, have some very keen fans who are trying to piece it all together, see what it might all mean. So what can you tell us?
Yeah, look, we wanted to create something kind of fun for the fans to engage with. It's essentially a puzzle. I've drawn 12 images, each celebrating a specific DC moment. We're revealing the final 4 right now during FanDome, and so if you take all 16 and rearrange them and kind of squint, hopefully you will see what we have been building up to. And it is the iconic cover from Crisis on Infinite Earths, #1, drawn by one of my favorite
Daqui a pouco a gente pode ter o trailer do Batman. Daqui a pouquinho tá chegando, daqui a pouquinho. Trailer do Batman. Bora esperar, a gente tá vendo o Jenny aí falando sobre o universo da DC nos quadrinhos. Daqui a pouquinho o trailer do Batman. Daqui a pouco o trailer do Batman, bora ficar ligado. Fazer uma chamada aqui no Instagram. Galera, daqui a pouco vai sair o trailer do Batman. Quem quiser ver em primeira mão o trailer de Batman, vai no link que tá na bio, no canal, que tá ao vivo agora, a gente participando da DC FanDome. Vai lá, clica no link para assistir o novo trailer do The Batman, filme com Robert Pattinson, direção do Matt Reeves. Ok, vai lá, não perde tempo. Daqui a pouco o trailer do Batman. Fala galera, daqui a pouco o trailer do Batman tá saindo. Se você quer assistir o trailer do Batman ao vivo, vai no link da descrição que tá na bios, ok? Vai na lista, daqui a pouco tá saindo o trailer do Batman. Está ao vivo aqui no canal, ok? Daqui a pouco tá saindo o trailer do Batman. Você vai ver com exclusividade aqui, a gente vai comentar o trailer. Beleza? Então vai lá, chama teus amigos, compartilha esse vídeo aqui, chamada que a gente está fazendo, a live para DC FanDome. Já saiu trailer do Adão Negro, trailer de Flash, vídeo do set de Aquaman, vídeo do set do Shazam, divulgação de novas séries, animações, tudo da DC. Você que é de Sinalta e não quer perder o novo trailer do Batman, vai lá, clica no link para assistir. Daqui a pouco vai sair, daqui a pouco.
Now, if you're a DC superfan, and I know you are, then the mere mention of the Batman gives you chills up and down your spine. And I know you can't tell, but right now I'm doing backflips on the inside. Bat fans like myself have been waiting impatiently for this one. So without further delay, let's check in with Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson, and Zoe Kravitz for a look inside the production of this much anticipated film.
É agora, é agora!
For some reason, Batman just always stood out.
Trava agora!
It's one of the major characters of the 20th century.
Máscara, símbolo.
Such a deep level and for so many different reasons.
Olha os pets falando.
The first conversation I had with Matt about it, I just knew there was something radically
Imagens do set.
about the movies before.
Charada.
I felt that we'd seen lots of origin stories. We'd seen things go further and further into fantasy. And I thought, well, one place we haven't been is grounding it the way that you want
Matt Reeves, o diretor.
right into a young Batman. Not be an origin tale, but refer to his origins and shake into his core.
Right from the beginning.
Pinguim.
Desperation to him. He's really working out this
Alfred.
range. The fight seemed very personal.
What's so wonderful about this world is the exploration of the gray area.
Selina Kyle.
Catwoman really wants to fight for those who don't have someone else to fight for them. And that's where Batman and her really connect.
He wants to inflict his own justice. He's just compelled to do it. There is no other option.
Hey guys, so you just saw a little look of us behind the scenes, and it feels like that was forever ago, which is really strange. And actually, as we're finishing the movie now, kind of really emotional for me to see you guys, especially after everything that's happened, and to see you now again. I feel like I've been watching your faces every day in editorial, but now to actually see you guys is really, really great. And I gotta say, it was an amazing time making the movie with you guys, and it's really cool to see you.
Oh, and it's so exciting to see like these little snippets of the film, you know, after, for us, being able to step away for a while. I know you've been in it the whole time, but every time I see just a little bit, it's so exciting.
You can see the progression. It kind of seems like it's getting more exciting, bigger,
actual bat suits. When Rob and I first got together, like we'd had all those conversations, and then just by virtue of what it is, it's Batman. The studio was like, well, we always do like a screen test, which is so like, you know, kind of the same thing you guys did. Rob did first by himself and had literally was wearing, I believe, Val Kilmer's bat suit. Yeah. Which, by the way, like the moment you put it on, like that was kind of a crazy moment.
It was crazy, but I remember putting it on and thinking that this is impossible. This is going to be absolutely impossible. I remember you saying like, because I guess just trying to move. I mean, wearing a kind of 2-inch thick rubber suit or latex suit and being incredibly nervous and full of adrenaline the whole time. I remember we did like 2 takes and then you were just saying, what can we do about this sweat? And I was like, nothing. There's nothing that can be done. I have to be drained in liquid.
The other thing that I remember too, which is cool because it informed the movie, is at the end of that costume test where you came and you put on the eye makeup and began the transformation. That moment for me, that was when I was like, oh my god, it is so you. Like it was just such a cool. And I remember you saying afterwards to me, you were like, I don't know what I just did. I said it was amazing, which it was. It was really really cool. And I really did think, oh my god, this version of this character, this guy who's sort of almost like, if you think of Bruce Wayne as like a recluse rock star in a decaying manner, there's this part of me that so saw you as that, and I had no idea that you would be interested in playing the role at all. I thought, what if Rob doesn't want to play Batman? This would be a disaster. And then it turned out that you completely on your own had a whole path to the same thing, which is that you had been obsessed with Batman for years, and when you found out that we were doing this version, you were very interested. So it was one of those things that for me felt really kind of lucky and fated that we met. I really felt that connection with you. I felt like, oh, we're going to be able to find something new with this guy and do something really special. But for me, you were always that version of what I saw in the page, and that was about trying to create a new version of Bruce.
He doesn't have as much control over his personality. Like the delineation between when he's Batman and when he's Bruce is not so clear. I mean, in other kind of iterations of it, you know, he really knows what he's doing when he's putting on the cowl. And I kind of really like this idea. It's a little bit out of control. He hasn't completely defined what Batman is. I mean, it's kind of, he gets lost in it. Whenever he's putting it on every night, and it's kind of, you're basically, he's not sleeping, and he's, you know, becoming this quite sort of odd creature.
Like just finding the right, literally how to move as Batman, how to talk as Batman. I mean, that was what was fun for me even when you guys first met up. I was like going, oh, so this is the rhythm of what it'll be like when you guys talk to each other. Like even something as simple as that. And like the way you came in with, like you had for me, so you had an attitude that was so Selena, right from the way you came in.
I obviously, you know, understand the gravity of a character like this and what she means to so many people, but what felt really important was to really focus on the story that we're telling in this moment, you know, and you know, try and create a real human being. You know, I don't want her to be an idea. You know, I want her to be a real human being in a real situation, in a real city, trying to survive and reacting to her own pain, you know, and her history. So I really, really focused on this particular story and this particular moment in this woman's life.
I think it was about trying to find a way, again, as Zoe was saying, to ground her so that she felt like she had an emotional journey that made sense for who she was, that ended up being Selena Kyle, but was one that we hadn't seen before, and yet in some ways it does connect to the comics. I mean, that's the thing which will be fun to share with an audience, is that there are a lot of iconic Selena Kyle aspects to the story, but I don't think any version of any of the Batman stories that have done any Selena stuff have done it in this way.
Because this is the foundation that we're setting right now, right? Like as we move forward and see her become Catwoman, you know, that heart and that humanity will always be there.
So we debuted our first trailer for our movie last year at DC FanDome.
And we want to say thank you for the great response.
It's only fitting that we share the second trailer with you all today.
Okay, enough from us. Here's what you've been waiting so patiently for. It's the trailer for the Batman.
the sky. It's not just a call. It's a warning.
I've been trying to reach you. Find the gun!
This is a powder keg, and Ritter's the match.
I can take care of myself.
If this continues, it won't be long before you've nothing left.
I don't care what happens to me.
It's only gonna get worse for you.
Whoa, take it easy, sweetheart. Hear everything they say, ain't you?
Maybe we're not so different. Who are you under there?
I'm vengeance.
What's black and blue and dead all over? You. Dear God.
I got you! I got you!
And that's the way to drop the mic and end the show. Wow, amazing.
Rapaz, que trailer é esse, rapaz? Que isso, cara? Ah, tem uma cena ali que... Ah, caramba, vem, meu irmão. Ai, cacete. Tô perdendo até quadro agora, mas... Que isso, rapaz? Ai, fiquei sem falta de ar. Que isso? Ai. Gente, é isso aí. Deixa eu ver. Eu acho que é isso. Valeu. Finalizou, fechou aí com chave de ouro. Deixa eu ver se tem mais alguma coisa. Finalizou com chave de ouro com esse trailer do Batman. Matt Reeves sabe o que tá fazendo. Coisas que eu gostei. Bora lá. Trailer do Adão Negro. Cara, vem. Outra coisa que eu usei, teaser do Flash. O teaser do Flash já me deixou assim já. E agora a trilha do Batman também. Mas nada de novo, nada de Lanterna Verde. Entendeu? Nada de outras produções. Cadê os filmes novos? Cadê os filmes novos? Que tenha o que? Batgirl e aquela série da Supergirl que eles iam fazer, série ou filme, não teve. Então seria o que? Filme da Batgirl, filme do Besouro Besouro Azul. Faltou muito, cara. Tem um filme e uma série do Lanterna Verde, os caras não falaram nada. Liga da Justiça Sombria, nada. Sociedade da Justiça, nada. Sempre batendo nos mesmos personagens. Batman, Flash, Aquaman, Mulher Maravilha, que não teve também nada, só tô produzindo. Então a DC foi fraco esse DC FanDome, olha. A presa veio o que eu tava esperando, que era o do Flash. Trailer do Adão Negro ia vir, tá bacana, trailer do Adão Negro. Trailer do Flash tá bacana, mas tá devendo, a DC tá devendo muito tá devendo muito. Eu vou encerrar a live por aqui. Obrigado a quem assistiu, ela vai ficar gravada.